Welcome to the Healthy Way Podcast with Shahi. I'm your host, Shahi Taruti. My intention with this podcast is to teach and inspire you to reach your maximum potential in your health and life and to become the healthiest and best version of you. I will be interviewing world-class international experts in the health and wellness global community. Our topics include lifestyle, nutrition, fitness, mindset, and spirituality. Periodically, I will also be tackling health topics that I'm passionate about sharing with you. Either way, you're in for a treat. So sit back, relax, and enjoy our time together. Hello, everyone, and welcome to a new episode of the Healthy Way Podcast with Shahi. Our guest today is Kristal Fiorentino, as she is an internationally certified mind-body connection coach and yoga therapist. Kristal specializes in a very special, scientifically proven tool that will help you achieve your goals in a very new way. So if you have a far-reaching goal that you've been trying to achieve for a long time and have been finding it not so easy to achieve it, Kristal today is going to introduce us to something that she has been teaching for a long time. First to Kristal. Welcome, Kristal, to our show today. And then
Thank you for having me, Shahi.
It's my pleasure. And please tell us what exactly is it that you are going to teach us today that will help achieving really goals in a new way?
Well, one of the best tools that I have found to help my clients succeed in their far-reaching goals, it's not really new, but the concept has it's become very popular, and it's called vision boarding or vision boards. It's been around for a very long time, but I would say about 10 years ago when The Secret, the book, came out and the movie came out, vision boarding really came into popularity and many more people found out about it and started using it. I do find that it is the best tool I have for helping my clients reach their goals.
Mm-hmm. Can you tell us how does it work?
Vision boards are concrete examples of what you actually want to achieve. There are many different ways and forms of doing vision boards. You can do them on the computer through Pinterest. You can do them with scissors and glue on a poster board, which is what I recommend. There are many, many different ways of doing them, but essentially what you're doing is you are finding visual examples of your goal and success and putting them in one place, usually a poster board, so that you can actually look at it a minimum of once a day to remind you of the concrete example of your goal of what you're trying to work towards every single day. So that's essentially what it is.
Yeah, great. And Kristal, would it apply to every area of our lives?
Absolutely. There are some who teach with vision boards that you should actually categorize your vision board. You can put, your business goals in one area, your personal goals in another, your relationship goals in another. I don't necessarily teach it that way. I think whatever our goals are, but more than one goal can be manifested or put on the board. It doesn't have to be one specific thing.
Fantastic. But again, some people would maybe doubtful about using vision boards or might not be quite sure that work for them. Would there be any data to prove that they actually work?
I think there's a lot of, actually on the internet now, you can find any information you want. So if you want to bolster the data of vision boards, you can find it. If you actually want to debunk and say that vision boards don't work, you can actually find that on the internet. What I have found and what I use is a plan that a research psychologist has actually tested. And she came up with this idea through neuroscientific research. Her name was Gabrielle Oettingen. And she found that there was an effective and proven way to achieve any goals. She called it the WHOOP plan. It's 4-step process. And the first one being putting together what that goal or that wish is. And that's where vision boards come in. I think vision boards are a great way to give yourself a visual of what actually you want to achieve and how you will feel once you achieve it. Those are really, really important. You need to know where you're going and what you want to accomplish. And so out of this 4-step process that has been scientifically proven, vision boards would be the first part of that. I think those that have maybe even tried it or heard about it think it's kind of a woo-woo thing. And it's really kind of just fantasizing. But there is scientific data that shows that if you follow a certain plan, you absolutely can achieve those goals. And I've actually seen it, used it myself for many, many years, and actually teach it all over the country, and are finding that my clients are absolutely achieving those goals. So yes, there is data backing it up. And yes, I've seen it personally and professionally that vision boards work.
Fantastic. And I think our minds basically see in pictures, right? See things in picture.
Absolutely. And that's only one of our senses. So what I teach my clients to do is, once you create a vision board, you have to then figure out the way to bring in other sorts of senses. I use essential oils. So anytime that you're meditating on your vision board, using a particular essential oil, so you bring in the olfactory or the smell, you can do it with touch. You can run your hands over certain things, whether it be money, whether it be pictures, whether it be fabric, anything that will bring all of the senses in to help you really visualize the outcome. Any of that is going to bolster your success in achieving this far-reaching goal.
Absolutely. I mean, I personally can be a really good example of this, because I've experienced trips and travels that I've had on my list for a long time. And as soon as I use the vision boards for really having visuals of seeing the places I want to be in, they actually manifested. And I can definitely tell that they do work. You just have to do them the right way, because it can get sometimes a bit tricky. So what would be your tips for really doing your vision board in a way that really works for you and avoid any blockages that might happen sometimes?
The proven 4-step process, like I said, starts with that goal or the wish, visualizing and actually feeling the outcome. It's really important that you have a daily practice where you can actually feel what it would be like to achieve it. And that's bringing in all the senses can really help with that. That's the second. The third, and I think this is where people start to drop off. They like the idea of vision boards, but the next step is then you have to actually plan out the obstacles or what you see could potentially get in your way of achieving this far-reaching goal. This is the biggest pitfall of vision boarding.
Yeah, that's
You've got to be able to figure out what those obstacles are and then plan for those obstacles and how you're going to go around them. That is how you achieve that desire and make it a realistic one.
Exactly.
If you can't see a way around those obstacles, then you've got to back off a little bit, maybe start with a smaller idea, and then work your way up to a far-reaching goal with obstacles. But that, I think, is the crux of the issue. And that's the most important thing with vision boards, is that you see this all the way through and how you're going to overcome those obstacles or potholes in the road along this journey.
So let's go over the 4 steps again. So you started by being specific about the goal and really seeing it, and then involving feelings into it as well. And then you also mentioned expecting what could be something that can stop us or come in the way, that we do actually have a plan to go about it. And then what was the 4th step?
That was exactly what you just outlined. The goal, visualizing the outcome of the goal, the obstacles to achieving the goal, and then the last is the plan.
The plan, okay.
To overcome those obstacles. Correct.
Fantastic. And let's say, because, I always like to give my audience practical steps. So let's say someone heard us and decided they want to start with their creating their own vision board and really achieve their goals. So how do someone get started, let's say?
How do you get started? As far as a vision board, I like to start with magazines, something very easy, newspaper, pictures on the internet. If there's a specific place you want to visit, Google that place and get as much information as you can, print out pictures of that place, and then cut and paste those pictures actually on your board. If there is a certain, amount of money you want to make, put that number actually on your board. If there are people in your life that you want to spend time with, put those people on the board. If there are certain quotes that really, kind of fire you up and get you going, put that on the board. Anything that makes you happy that can represent this goal of yours or what you would feel like if you achieve this goal should be cut out and pasted on a board for you to look at daily.
And daily really is a key thing, really thing to success, because it really takes daily visualization, right? And it's something that has to be a ritual. That's very important, I think.
Yeah, and not only looking at it. So, putting it in your office or putting it in the laundry room or putting it in your bathroom, a place where you're going to see it every day. You actually, one step further than just looking at it, you have to spend a few minutes a day actually feeling what it's going to feel like in order to achieve that goal. If you can't feel what it's going to be like to achieve the goal, it's going to be extremely difficult to achieve that goal. So it's really important that you spend a few minutes of a day really expanding your mind and the emotions around achievement of the goal.
And is it okay to have like more than one vision board? Like, let's say you have different goals in different areas. Would you create a separate vision board for each area of your life, or would you have them all together in one board? How would you do it?
I would personally not suggest that. And then the reason why is because you want your energy focused. So if we start diversifying our ideas or our goals and putting them in different places or on different boards, then our energy is going to be divided. Keeping it to a smaller board, focusing, it doesn't have to be focusing on one goal, but I do suggest focusing on one board. And what's going to happen when you focus every day on one board is really, you're going to find that you're focusing on specific goals within the board. So you may not achieve or even want to achieve everything on your board when you begin the board. So it will start to crystallize and clarify as you look at that board and visualize that board every day. What is the most important thing on that board, or the most important feeling on that board, or person on that board? And then that's what you will start really, really putting all of your energy into.
And then also, as part of being really practical about it and giving really practical tips. So let's say we agreed that you need to be looking at it every day and visualize every day your goals and achieving them. And let's say you're maybe on a weekend traveling, you're not away from home, where you can't really look at your vision board. What would you do?
You can still visualize the outcome. You don't need the board to visualize the outcome. The board is actually just one way to incorporate vision, or one of that one sense when it comes to feeling the outcome. Really, the crux of this, the biggest part of this, is feeling the outcome. The vision board is just one way to see it. Like I said, you can smell the outcome. You can feel the outcome. That's what you really want to focus on. The practice of feeling the outcome is really what's going to manifest the opportunities in order for you to achieve success in whatever this goal is, because you're creating energy around it, and then the universe is matching that energy. So this is how the law of attraction with vision boarding works, is really up your energy game, and then the universe matching the energy that you're feeling. Vision board is just one way in order to create that feeling and that energy around the success of the goal. So you don't need to carry your vision board around with you. You don't need to take it on vacation. What you do need to take with you is every day that feeling of achievement and success.
So again, you're emphasizing on the importance of really every day you have to get in touch with your vision and your goal on a daily basis. Now, another question, how about some people sometimes are really good in visualizing and manifesting goals in certain areas of their lives, while maybe other areas might be a little bit more resistant and not as easy as other areas of their lives. Why do you think it's the case?
Mindset. Clear and simple. The ideas or the beliefs around that particular goal that has been so difficult to achieve. So, for example, your goals don't have to be money related or material things, but it's an easy example to talk about. So if you want to make $1 million this year, if you, in your heart of hearts, don't believe you can make $1 million doing what you're doing currently, then you're going to have a very difficult time manifesting that. Now, if you believe that you're worthy of a great, loving relationship with your soulmate, on the other hand, that's going to be easy to manifest because you can actually believe that coming true. But if you have a hard time in the money or the career category, believing that you know enough or that you are educated enough or smart enough to be making that sort of money, if you have beliefs around or fears around that no matter what you do, you won't be able to manifest it because you don't truly believe it can happen. In those cases, what I would tell you is take that off your board or off your goal list and go smaller and work up to it. So choose something that you know you can achieve and sort of build that achievement muscle.
Yes.
It's like what we do in the gym. We don't start lifting 50 pounds. We start with 10. And we work up to it, building that muscle. It's the same thing with visualization and belief systems. So if you find that you're unable to achieve goals in a particular area, it's because you have beliefs or fears around that area. And in that situation, I would suggest coaching.
Sure. I like that very much. You explained it really well because, beliefs can change they're really running the show, really, whether we're able to achieve something or not. So it's worth getting support, really, if you feel you can't change your belief in certain area, or if you are seeing a pattern repeating where you can't. You're finding resistance in this particular area. So that's makes a lot of sense. Kristal, really, I think we came to the end of the episode, and that was a very interesting topic. And everyone who's listening, please leave us a comment and let us know if you've tried using vision boards before, or maybe if you haven't, if you intend to use it, where are you going, which goal you're going to start with. Leave us a comment. And I thank you so much, Kristal. And why don't you share with us how would people would get in touch with you if you'd like to learn more about what you share online?
Absolutely. So you can reach me at kristalfiorentino.com, Kristal, Fiorentino, which is F as in Frank, IORENTINO.com. You can contact me through my website. And also, commenting, like you said, on this podcast, if you're finding that you are having trouble with your vision board or something's come up, if you comment on that, I'll make sure that I keep in contact with Shahi and answer any questions as a result of you listening to this podcast or contacting me yourself through my website.
Fantastic. And as always, all the links that we've mentioned here in the episode will be in the show notes, so you can always find them there as well. Thank you, Kristal, so much. It was a pleasure having you today in the show.
Yes, thanks so much for having me. It's a passion and I love talking about it. So good luck with everybody.
Yes, thank you.
I truly hope you've enjoyed listening to this episode of the Healthy Way podcast with Shahi. You can always find any links mentioned on the show over on the show notes. If you haven't subscribed to the show already, remember to click on the subscribe button next to the podcast. If you scroll further down on the podcast page on your phone, you can tap to rate our show and leave your review on iTunes. I'll see you on the next episode.